for trading it all. If I gave
Welcome
it
back, everyone. We are live on Facebook with everyone. So hi out there that are everyone that's watching. I have with me now Maureen Michael, and we call her Mo, and she's the owner of Compass Recovery Center. Welcome to the show. This is serious stuff,
Yes.
but it's very important. Let's talk a little bit about what it is that you do. And welcome back. You were here once before. Go
Yes.
ahead.
Thank you very much, Carol. Nice to be back here again. Yes, so we are a treatment center. We do substance abuse, but my passion is helping problem gamblers because it's kind of like the hidden addiction in our world of addiction. You know, opiates are in the news and it's very serious, and we help those clients too, but problem gambling is just not very common. People don't know it. It's actually an addiction, you know, and so my passion is to get the word out there and to help as many people as we can.
Now, where are you located?
We're in Prescott, Arizona.
And then now, I want to get it out real quick, understanding that this obviously is for any addiction.
Any addiction.
But your focus is on gambling. Now, I got to ask you why that became your focus.
Because I myself had a gambling addiction, and I received treatment and have now been clean from gambling for over 10 years.
Awesome. So, okay, I've never really met, well, I probably have, and I didn't even know it, because that's really the truth. I mean, most people
Right.
don't know what, a addict would be when it comes to gambling.
Right.
How do you know what the signs are when you lose all your money? There's no money in the bank. No. It's a good
Right.
sign.
Yeah, or, you know, if someone is spending more and more time, or, you know, for loved ones, if your loved one is, you find out they're lying, or if like the statements stop coming in the mail because they're getting to the mailbox before you get to the mailbox, and new credit cards are being opened, and often, you know, problem gamblers are very good at hiding and manipulating and moving money around so that their loved ones don't know what's going on.
So again, anything, but today we're really focusing on gamblers.
Yes.
And when people call you, do you do like a consultation? How does it work when what's it look like to get to you?
Sure. So anyone that calls, even if they're not a good fit for me, I stay with that person until I can find them a place. I have resources across the country. A lot of states have free funded help for gamblers, including here in Arizona. I work very closely with the Arizona Council on Problem Gambling, and if someone is not a fit or can't get help through me, I find them help. So you can call it a free consultation or assessment. I will do that for anyone who calls in for any addiction.
I think it's more than an assessment, because what it is that you're doing is one thing that I find about people who have addictions, that it's like even in AA or anything like that, when you are, let's say, sponsoring someone, you really want to help that person.
Absolutely.
I think that's what this is really, what you're really doing is you're really helping that person find what can help them the best.
Yes, absolutely. And, you know, there's been a lot of changes in this field. And previous to 4 years ago, gambling wasn't even considered an addiction. So 4 years ago, it was recognized finally, and changed in the DSM, which to an addiction. So now people can actually get help, and it's covered by their insurance plan. So most of the time with no out-of-pocket cost to them, which gamblers don't have a lot of money if they're seeking out help at that point. They've gone through their funding. So.
Wow. Yeah, but that's right. Now, I got to get out some information before I want to ask you some
Sure.
important questions. Your website is compassrecoverycenters.com.
Correct.
You also can call them toll free, and that's 800-216-1840. This is covered by insurance?
It can be, yeah, if you have substance abuse coverage.
It depends on what
Right.
you've got.
Right.
So you might have it, you might not, but you won't know until you talk to her. And what she does is an assessment with you, and if it's not the right fit, she'll find you the right fit, which
Absolutely.
is really neat. Now, I got to ask you, I'm going to use you because you said that you were, so, because I'm assuming that what happened to you happens to a lot of people.
Yes.
How did you become an addict in gambling?
You know, I'm not sure how it happened, but it just I fell in love with gambling at an early age. It was in my family, family vacations in Vegas. Mom and dad gambled. We played on the Midway, and it soon became, it just consumed my life. It became more important to go to the casino than it did to engage with family or take care of my kids. I mean, it was really a devastating, not only emotionally for my family, but financially. I had no concept of the dollar amounts that I was spending.
Yeah, you know what? The other thing is, I'm going to say what I think makes it also very easy, because I see people. I don't go, but whenever I go and I see people there that are there for hours, they've been there for hours.
Right.
And also, they're right at the tip of our fingertips now. Like when you said when you were younger, you guys went on a trip, right? Well, it's not like that anymore.
No.
I mean, you can go on trips and it's really fun, but now you can hop off the freeway and just say, hey, I'm going to go in there for a few 10 hours or whatever it's going to be, right?
Right.
It is just so right there easy, and I feel sorry for those people. And there's a lot of druggies there. You can see it. You can see them. They're so wishing. They have like $1 in their hand, and they're just going, it's going to be this, and then they wanted to get the money to obviously do something else with it. But, right.
Which, for our problem gamblers, that's never the case. The money is our drug. So coming to peace with that through treatment is what we really need, because you can't not have money. You can't not deal with money. So it's just time. Like, the more money we have, it's more time escaping from whatever is going on in our life. And that's what we find with a lot of gamblers. They're either in the action at the tables or machines, and they're just escaping from dealing with their life.
Sure. Now, again, they do free these assessments. If it does not fit for you, they will follow you. She will follow you till you find the right fit. The number to call them is toll-free 800-216-1840. Facebook people out there, this to me is informational. We don't know somebody out there. We live with them. If you know somebody that hangs out at the casinos a lot, might want to talk to them, might want to just call them, find out, what the signs are and all that kind of stuff. But out there, everybody out there, we all know someone. I think there was someone in here that knew somebody. We all know someone who might have some sort of addiction. They do help people with any of addiction, but today we are focusing on gamblers because she was one herself. But 10 years, congratulations.
Thank you.
So you can check it out. It is CompassRecoveryCenters.com. Toll free, it's 800-216-1840. So why is it, because, when you think about it, why is it that people just can't easily stop gambling?
Well, it's like any other addiction. The endorphins and the dopamine and all the chemicals that changes in our brain, it kind of shuts down our frontal lobe. And our frontal lobe kind of tells us, hey, maybe you've been in here too long, or that's our decision-making part of our brain. And it just it's like switching a light switch. It's completely gone. And so there's no concept of, man, this is probably a bad idea right now. None of that. It's, I have to do this or I'll die. I mean, basically that's what the body is telling them. And so they can't stop. They can't stop until there's no more money. They've taken all the money out.
So I have to ask you, will you mind sharing? Okay, I got to ask. And it's, because, this isn't movies. This is real life.
Absolutely.
For you. And there's a lot of people that do have this issue. When you were gambling, I mean, did you just go through like all your money did you steal to try and get? I mean, how bad did it get?
Oh, it got
how
bad.
How low did you go?
Not only did I go
my
through...
dad would say, look me straight in the eye.
It wasn't just my money. It was your money. It was any money I could get a hold of. And yes, my addiction took me to embezzlement, which took me to incarceration. So, but that, I didn't grow up like that. Like, I knew, like, looking back now, how did I do those things? I was in the midst of it.
We all felt like that, believe me. Go ahead.
Yeah, but I couldn't
Don't feel
stop.
bad.
I couldn't stop. It was more important for me to get to the casino than it was to not commit those acts, So it wasn't until everything came crashing down that I was able to stop and be like, wow, I really need some help here.
You saw it yourself, or did other people's do people do interventions with that too?
And I've helped with that. That's another service that we offer. If you have a loved one that you think is suffering, call me and we'll talk about it, and we'll find out like what we can do. I have people across the country that do interventions along with myself, and we will help get that person hopefully into treatment and get them some help.
Now, that would be with anything, any kind
Yes.
of, okay, and it includes alcohol, any drug, okay.
Right.
And now that you're located in Prescott, so it's really pretty to go there anyway. You
It
know?
is, yeah.
And and they will help anyone out there. Though today, of course, she's just talking about gambling, but there's a good reason why. And there's a lot of people out there, out there that are closet gamblers, that are they're addicts, and they may not even realize it themselves.
Right. And so my hope is getting the information out there so I can hopefully help some people stop before they went to the lengths that I went to.
Right.
You know, that's my whole goal is like, let's stop and get some help before it goes too far.
Right. And if it's you that you yourself know this is information for you, maybe you just, should call up and find out, am I addicted? Maybe there's a lot of people that just, they're not sure. So
Right.
it's a good idea that they can call you. If you've got a family member or someone that you know and you want to do an intervention, they will help too. That's what they're all about. It's all about the information. It goes out there and it's like a little stone in the water and it just goes and goes and goes and goes, especially with the Facebook out there. We'll be sharing it later. Like us on Facebook too with this. We're going to go to a break. When we come back, we're going to talk further. Again, they can help anyone with anyone and any kind of addiction, but we are talking about gambling right now. It is CompassRecoveryCenters.com. Hold on tight. We'll be back in just a minute. We're talking with Maureen Michael. We call her Mo, and she's the owner of Compass Recovery Center. It's in Prescott, and the A+ rated with the Better Business Bureau. Also, lots of kudos to you. You've got some things that you want to get out. Go ahead.
Sure. Yeah, we were recently accredited earlier this year by the Joint Commission, which is the Joint Commission of Hospitals. So they came through our clinic and also our houses where we house people and gave us the passing, and we are now accredited through our own organization. And with the new regulations up in Prescott, we also passed all of those regulations. So, we want to provide ethical treatment to our clients, and we make sure that it's a safe environment for someone to recover.
Now, we want everyone to understand that this is for any kind of addiction that you might be dealing with. They will help you even with if you want to do an intervention
Yes.
as well. And I know a lot of people out there that would say to me, I know somebody and we want to do one, but we're afraid, we don't know what we should do, and you can help with that.
Yes, I have resources across the United States.
Also, they'll do an assessment with you, again, whether it's any kind of addiction. Gambling today, we're talking about. You said, obviously, I know that you were a recovering gambler, but that here in Arizona, it's number one.
Oh, yeah.
Addiction.
Oh, absolutely. There's
One of
26,
the number
27 casinos here. It's so easy, and especially with our older population. So the kids are gone, and there's not much to do. So it starts out as entertainment. It's a fun thing to do on a Friday night, and then we have people that have come out for help, and they've gone through their whole retirement and their whole life savings.
That's really sad.
Really sad.
Now, you can check them out on their website. It is CompassRecoveryCenters.com. You can also call them toll free. It's 800-216-1840. I know it's not the pleasant, conversation, but it's important. All the stuff that you hear here on this show is stuff that I think people need to know about, and it's just information.
Absolutely.
And if it's not something that you want to talk about, that's okay, but you might want to, and you may not need it now. You might find it somewhere down the line, and that's why all of this information is really important for you guys to listen up and listen to. Okay, so I want to talk about this. This is important too. So someone has a gambler in their family, and they feel powerless because they can't seem to help them. What would be some of your suggestions?
Well, the first thing I would suggest to a family who...
Hide the money.
Absolutely.
Hide the money.
You got it right.
Wow.
You have to keep yourself and the family safe, because the gambler, no matter what, will do whatever they have to get that money. So everything out of the gambler's name, everything, blocked, and so they don't have access to it. So that's number one. And the second one, there's 12-step meetings for the family members, and the counseling that we have here in Arizona is also for families. So go out and get yourself some help so you know how to best support your loved one, whether they're in recovery or not, and keep yourself safe.
You know what I think? I think gambling and eating, because that could be an addiction too.
Absolutely.
Do you also do that too?
We don't.
I just want to ask because I didn't mention that.
That's a much higher level of
right,
care.
I'm sure it is. But But I'm just saying, it's something that people don't think that it is an addiction because it's not illegal.
Right.
It's not being put into their arm.
They're not drinking it.
They're
No.
not drinking
Yeah.
it. So they don't realize that it is an addiction.
Yeah, the most common phrase I hear from families is, why don't they just stop going? And if it was that easy, I mean, what people need to understand is it's the same thing as if they were injecting something or they were drinking a substance. It affects the brain the same exact way.
Would you please talk about the insurance that could cover it too?
Sure. So anyone who has insurance, we will verify that for free and to see what kind of coverage you have. And if someone has coverage for mental health or substance abuse benefits, then they can often get treatment and there could be no out-of-pocket cost to them depending on their plan.
I'm also going to say this out there to everyone. I know it's now, and I was just thinking about it. This is sometimes it's an uncomfortable topic.
Absolutely.
Right? But I want to say that if anybody out there does have somebody that they just don't know how to handle, and you want to talk to me about it or reach out to the station and get connected, I'll help you get in touch with them
Absolutely.
too. I want to help as well. So the number here is 602-277-5369, and toll free it's 1-866-536-1100. They do obviously free assessments, and they'll help you where you're at. Again, they will do most of the addictions, not eating, but whatever. And also, they will help you with an intervention, any kind of intervention that you might need. And she doesn't just say, okay, here's some things, see you later. Tell them what you do.
No, I will stay with you and your loved one, to find the best care for you. I recognize that sometimes we're not the best fit. And, at this industry, I have ethical partners across the country, and I will make sure that you get into a place that's going to meet your needs.
So I got to ask you there to some things that are coming to my mind now. So obviously, when you have an addiction with drugs or drinking, whatever that's in your system, there's withdrawal system. Is there the same thing with gambling?
There is a withdrawal system.
Really?
Yes, because of what all the chemicals that have flooded the brain for however many years that they've gambled, there will be a withdrawal symptoms, and it can last anywhere from 2 weeks up to 6 to 8 weeks, depending on how long they've gambled.
What are how is it that you do it? I mean, what is it that you do in terms of, is it like a 12-step program?
It is a 12-step program.
Go ahead.
So Gamblers Anonymous is out of our treatment center. We support it with Gamblers Anonymous because after they leave us, they have to continue that recovery. And we found that the most success is with people who have bought into the 12-step program and worked a program through Gamblers Anonymous. So we introduce them to that at our treatment center. We have 7 meetings up in Prescott, so 1 a night, and so we get them going with that. And so when they go home, wherever they go, then they'll have,
How long are they usually in treatment?
For our gamblers, we have 30, 60, or 90-day programs. I have a gambler now who's chose to do 6 months because that's our other programs are 6 to 9 months. Long-term treatment is what we believe in.
I would never even think they would need something like that, but they would do.
Yeah, long-term treatment is, we have our most success for our clients that stay the longest.
Mm-hmm. It's amazing. And it must be very hard because, it's so easy to get into any of these little casinos. And you want to go to a casino. You want to go maybe see even a show.
Right.
Right? You can't go in there without going through buy those. That must be pretty hard.
It is very hard. And it's not just the casinos. We have online
That's
betting.
right. We were going to talk about that, and I completely forgot.
That's okay. It's supposed to be.
Let's talk about it.
It was.
That's the worst.
It was made illegal, I think, 12 years ago. Well, of course, they found ways. So offshore, they just park their servers offshore. And so there's online gambling, which is a devastating thing. There's those free games on Facebook, on all the social media where you just spin, and you don't necessarily win anything, but people get drawn into it. It affects the brain the same way. So pretty soon they're just buying coins even though they can't win anything because that compulsion just going.
I know that years and years and years ago, I mean, I'm not a gambler. I'm the worst anyway, but when I played, somebody was a poker, whatever it was, and I would get so excited. I would come running out, oh my God, I won like $8,000 million or whatever it was. It wasn't money, but it was that same, it's that high. It was that high of that. And I can understand that. But So you would suggest then for somebody that because then what do you do? It's all right there. You can play a game anytime.
Yeah, so we have different tools that we use for our clients. So there's a software system called Gamblock, and so you can install that on any computer or any phone, and it will not allow you to play any sort of gambling
I'm glad
game.
you're talking about that because this is information for them. Go ahead and
For
say it
parents
again.
too, it's Gamblock, and I think it's $80, or you can pay $120 for multiple devices, and especially for our children, so that we can kind of block it before they start. And then another thing in Arizona, you can self-ban yourself from all the casinos.
Oh, wow.
One piece of paper, and you send it in, and you will no longer be allowed in the casinos. And if you do go in, there's some consequences. If you win, you don't get to keep the money, which is a big consequence for someone who wants it. And then, or if you continue to go in, you can actually be cited for trespassing.
Wow. Those are a lot of different avenues that people can go. Please go ahead and tell them a little bit about, again, that app for them because that's good information for
Absolutely.
them
It's called Gamblock, and you can get it for computers and now for all cell phones.
Wow, that's awesome. What would be your final words for today?
If you or a loved one are struggling, there's a lot of shame in this addiction. Just reach out. The call is completely confidential. I never share information, and at least let me get you started on getting some help.
And it was somebody that you can really relate to them.
Yeah.
And, I'm proud of you. I really am because
Thank you.
I know how hard that really must be. I have never, and myself, but it doesn't matter. I can relate to it, what it might be, because I can just see it in your passion for it. And I think it's wonderful that you're here to help other people.
Yes.
Again, we want you to understand that they will help anyone with most any addiction. But today she is talking big about gambling. It is probably one of the number one here in addictions that people don't even realize they have. Right. It's a good reason why. She's got some real good tips. She will also do assessments for you. And if it doesn't work out, which it may not be, she can help you go forward with, she won't let you just go. She also help people with interventions. That's a wonderful thing that you're doing because so many people don't know how to handle that. That's a huge thing. It's not just so easy to sit down. It looks like it on television, like it's so easy to do. It's not easy to do. Also, give them the information about the app again.
It's Gamblock.
So it's really easy.
Yep.
Go easy and check it out. They're A+ rated with the Better Business Bureau. Their website is CompassRecoveryCenters.com. You can also call them direct. It's toll-free 800-216-1840. Or call in here and I'll connect you with them.
Oh,